a waitress at the local watering holes.
When she's not working at a club, Tamara's jamming on her guitar or playing gigs at local cafes and open mics. But in the late 90s, she hits a wall.
I was doing a lot of drugs. I was doing crystal then. Not proud of it, but, I did it.
For years, Tamara's life isn't about music.
It was really a lack of confidence, and I didn't go audition. I still had my guitars, but and I would just strum to myself, kind of thinking, what a loser. I'm pretty much, I'm all washed up.
Trying to get on the wagon, Tamara leaves the bar scene and gets a job at a Safeway grocery store.
Tamara's dad built his career at Safeway, so Tamara thinks this may win back some of her parents' approval.
I held it down for 6 years, but I just couldn't really take it.
Tamara decides that meth and Safeway just aren't her, so she leaves them behind and picks up her guitar again.
And I thought, I'm going to take this time, and instead of just rushing out and getting another job, I'm going to hang out and be a musician.
She gets her chops back up, nails down a routine, and takes it to San Francisco's BART stations, where you'll find her today.
When Billy shows up in San Francisco from Waco, Texas in 2004, he's 18 years old.
And I was supposed to be here for 2 months, on vacation. And I was like, what am I doing? I don't want to go home, though. They have legal weed here. So, I got a job there, and then I just started living out of this random hotel.
Billy makes pizzas at Domino's. He's a saxophonist, but he can't afford a saxophone.
So I stopped playing music for 2 or 3 years, and it made me want to kill myself.
The downturns don't stop there.
Then I lost my job, and I was living in my friend's car for a week. And I remember it got towed while I was inside of it.
Billy moves into a homeless shelter, but he's bored there. So that's when he starts busking.
After a few years, he's able to move into a low-income apartment complex. For nearly a decade, life's good. He's got a girlfriend, he's making money busking, and getting popular at the open mics around town.
Then he and his girlfriend split.
After 7 years,
Billy fills that gap with something else.
I started going out to bars every day and seeing if I can not be lonely anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what it is, actually. That's the cycle. So you start doing that every day.
In San Francisco's bar scene, he starts doing cocaine. He spends most of his busking money on booze and drugs instead of rent.
That's why I lost my place. It's not even about fun anymore. I can't go a single minute of the day without thinking about drinking or getting high. I literally don't know how to function anymore.
On top of that, or maybe because of it, Billy's health deteriorates too.
I've been in the hospital 100 times last year.
Billy missed our first 2 interview dates because painful muscle contractions kept him in bed.
Every muscle in my body was kind of going I'd wake up going, ah.
He also has focal dystonia, a neurological disorder that causes muscle spasms in his fingers. Drinking and cocaine use can make his symptoms worse.
Billy wants to go to rehab, but he has trouble saving up enough money to pay for it.
Most afternoons, Billy plays at that corridor in Civic Center BART station.
But in November of 2018, BART shuts down his favorite corridor to make room for a new power transformer.
God, I might cry or something. It's been my life. It changed my life. I met so many people down there.
Billy says he'll find a new place to play, but he can't return to his 12-year haunt. As for his future, Billy says nothing is certain.
I'm in debt spiritually. I got to work back up, you know what I'm saying? I had goals, and now I put myself in debt, with my life. But I want to get back to, not doing any of this shit anymore, which I'm working toward.
Dwayne Oakley is a pro. He takes his music very seriously.
It was musician work, where you really had to know what you're doing.
His musical career starts at home.
It's in a little town called Pittsburgh, California.
At 19, Dwayne buys his first bass from a pawn shop. You could say he practices religiously.
I went to all the local churches and played with their choirs. That's how I got my chops up and got my ear together.
By the early 70s, Dwayne outgrows the Pittsburgh scene.
I want to play with more people, so I came to Oakland.
Dwayne makes a living over the next decade as a contract musician, playing parties and events with his ensembles. He makes enough to support himself and his wife.
Life's necessities make you work a little harder.
In 1985, Dwayne takes his talent overseas to
Japan. I was there for 6 or 7 years off and on, getting in and out of the country, getting a visa. I recorded 3 albums there. So made the record label Nakido with a piano player by the name of Naoyuki.
When Dwayne returns in 1991, he finds a very different Oakland.
There was not much to do. A lot of the places that I worked in before had closed. A lot of the young people that I was, my own caliber, had left.
Dwayne heads across the bay, where he finds the Mocha. That venue becomes his main source of income.
Playing there, he lands some high-profile gigs.
We worked for Mayor Brown, did his campaign parties.
That's San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown.
Something about Dwayne sets him apart from a lot of street performers.
I could act like everyone else in the workforce, which was, for a musician, it's kind of strange.
It's also why he doesn't identify with the term busker.
I always thought that a busker was somebody who could only work on the street. So I never wanted to be in that category. I'm not a street-only musician.
Dwayne puts a ton of work into his music. To him, there's an important distinction between what he does and what anyone can do. He says busker just doesn't really fit what he is.
A full-fledged musician, I wouldn't call him a busker. Call him a musician. But that's my definition.
The Mocha shut down in 2015. On a rare occasion, you may catch Dwayne at a San Francisco BART station, but you gotta be up early.
That's a 4 o'clock in the morning job, because the train starts running at about 6 from Oakland.
Maiden Lane may be quiet these days, but Dwayne's still making tunes. Hey everyone, we wanted to take a moment to tell you about an important local resource. Bay Area Women Against Rape, or BAYWAR, is one of the first rape crisis centers in the country. For over 45 years, BAYWAR has provided services for anyone who has been affected by sexual violence.
BAYWAR operates a 24/7 crisis line and does 24/7 accompaniments for sexual assault reports. They also offer youth services and specific programs for the LGBTQIA and Latinx communities.
In addition to immediate support in the aftermath of a sexual assault, BAYWAR also provides individual and group counseling at no charge.
Sexual assault advocates are trained and state certified to provide emotional support, advocacy, and resources.
BAYWAR has no agenda for the next step after a sexual assault. Only an advocate to be on your side and provide options for you to make the decision.
If you or someone you know needs support, call the 24/7 crisis line at 510-845-7273. That's 510-845-7273. 7273.
If you're interested in volunteering or donating to BayWar, or want them to host a sexual violence training seminar, please visit the BayWar website at baywar.org for more information. That's BAWAR.org.
And now, back to the show.
That brings us to, well, us, Brian and me.
We were two broke musicians living on the road. We met over 10 years ago under a bridge in Chicago. I played guitar, and Chloe sang and kept rhythm on a washboard.
We busked together a lot and learned a lot that summer.
People can be jerks. It can be tough to make money. I've been lumped in with beggars, screamed at to get a job, kicked, spit on, been paid to shut up.
My busking days were mostly positive. After I moved to the Bay Area, busking paid my rent.
I went down to St. James Infirmary to see my baby there. He was lying on a long white table, so sweet, so cold, so pretty. I went down to see the doctor. He's mighty low, he say.
It was my career for 6 years. Looking back, it was one of the most carefree times of my life. And I miss that.
Because of what we've done, it's hard for us to be objective about buskers. We believe their presence offers something important for us all. A break from the daily slog.
Urban life piles on speed, bent over hours on our phones, endless to-do lists. It's easy to get bogged down and closed off from each other.
Taking a moment out of your busy day to stop and listen to a street performer can be an opportunity to make a meaningful connection in a superficial world.
Love 'em or hate 'em, buskers add character to the gray concrete and dull metal of the BART stations. Take it from someone who's studied them. Busker historian Paul Watt.
Yeah, I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's also in the ear of the beholder.
Tamara can't afford a place of her own yet, so she couch surfs with friends. She works seasonal jobs around town and busks to fill the gaps.
You can catch her act at Montgomery BART Station in San Francisco or in front of the Pacifica Safeway.
I don't really consider myself down on my luck, you know. I don't feel it, you know. I feel like I have guitar, will travel, I'll always have money.
Billy still doesn't have his own place, but he has a new girlfriend, Kim. Billy stays with her most nights, and they seem really happy together.
Even though his favorite corridor is gone, you can still catch him at Civic Center BART Station.
Billy's saving up for a rehab program in Northern California. He says he'll go as soon as he has the cash.
Then I need to get into low-income housing situations and stuff like that, start applying.
Beyond that, Billy doesn't have a plan.
That's the way it's always been since I got here, so it's like nothing new or whatever.
Dwayne has 2 grown kids who live on their own.
Daughter just had a little boy. He's getting big.
He lives with his wife in their Richmond apartment.
His trio plays at local farmers markets and at the Small Wonder Cafe in Oakland on Friday nights.
I'm able to do my music business. I'm able to rehearse. I'm able to write. I can do pretty much what I set my mind to do because I'm working, and life is beautiful.
Thanks for listening. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe to our podcast channel and leave us a rating while you're at it.
Don't forget to follow us on social media at Beats and Measures.
Beats and Measures is a production of Studio to Be in Oakland, California.
Executive producers are Joaquin Alvarado, Ken Ikeda, and Kristen Belden.
Edited by Cheryl Duvall.
William Sammons is our sound engineer.